Yeah, so these tires have a little bit of rash mark around them. I'm gonna touch that up with some touch-up paint, and I put on some new rotors, and I put on new brake pads, and I painted my brake calipers with caliper paint. And so I'm about to just show you guys the process. I was gonna do the entire brake change, but there's a lot of video about that out and about. But there is an old car, so I'm pretty sure it's not like any really up-to-date footage. So I decided to just make a higher def version, and the job has already been done for the most part. I just really have to slide my brakes in, which I'll do just by sliding into the top of the brake caliper, which I just painted. Actually, I painted it earlier this morning, so it's been sitting all day. It's very dry. It's ready to go. Got the car up on jack stands, as you can see, in the correct spot, not the lower radiator mount. And so let's see if I push those pistons back far enough. So we'll start by taking out this paper. I just put a piece of cardboard in the top of there to mask off my rotor so it won't get paint on it. And I put a piece of plastic around it so while I was spraying, it wouldn't get dirty. Now I do notice that these have these metal, I painted this by accident because I don't care, it's not gonna be seen, but they have these metal brake lines that I hate. They make working with the caliper very kind of tedious, and I may look into just getting those replaced with some rubber lines or some steel braided lines like I have on my motorcycle before they pop, before they just break, because they're probably like 25 years old. So I'm gonna sit the camera down and go ahead and put my brake pads back in and explain to you, hey Sneaky, explain to you what I did. Sneaky, you're so old, you're losing all your hair. Okay, so I'm gonna just try to walk you through the process because I've already did most of the work before I realized that maybe I should just make a video to add to my channel. We have an 18 millimeter, or this is a 19 millimeter. My Z has a 19 millimeter bolt, caliper bolt. There are two of them back here. So there's one here and there's one lower. Right. I don't want to move the camera too much because I like the way it's positioned. So that's why I'm just not showing you where this bolt is. But the other caliper bolt is right there. So it has two 19 millimeter caliper bolts that you will loosen. To take your caliper, once you back those all the way out, you would take your caliper all the way off. It might be tough to get off because of the pistons here, which these are your pistons. This is a 4-piston setup. So you have 1 piston, 2 piston, 3, 4. So you have 2 on the inside and 2 on the outside of your rotor. They collapse in on your rotor to stop your car from going. When you press the brake, these pistons shoot out, will come in like this, and they squeeze on your rotor and it stops the vehicle. So that's how those work. I have 1, 2, 3, 4. Those might be engaged, those might be out further, so they might be pushing your old brake pads onto your rotor kind of tough. So you would just want to come up here and you just want to wiggle it back and forth, grab it and just force it off, slide it off. If you have to use a tool or a flathead screwdriver or something to get up under there to pry it out, then that's fine too, but you just want to back it off. Mine isn't moving because I have my caliper bolts in enough to just position my caliper. Then what you want to do is I'm missing a piece. Hold on. This should be here. So what you will see is you'll have this like that, and you'll have these 2 cross members that holds that in place. These 2 here. So to get these out is just a Phillips or a flat because it can accommodate both. You just screw it. In addition to these having a Phillips / flathead on one side, on the other end there's a hole for a cotter pin. So now I got my cotter pins in top and bottom. all this stuff is good to go. It's not going to go anywhere. And now I'm going to go ahead and tighten up my caliper bolts. And again, these are 19 millimeter caliper bolts. And so I'm going towards the camera, ratcheting it towards the camera,